All right, we'll go ahead and call the Planning and Zoning Commission work session to order at 6:30 Assembly Chambers on February 12th. Can I get a roll call, please?
Ms. Fraser,
Here.
Mr. Neff,
Here.
Mr. Dagan,
Present.
Ms. Craig. Here. Ms. Williamson,
Here.
Mr. Cleary,
Present.
Mr. Mangini. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Next, we will head on to citizens' comments. Anybody wishing to speak can come to the podium, write your name, make sure the mic is on. Please make sure that your comments address the group as a whole. If you are listening and would like to call in, the local number is 907-486-3231. And we also have a toll-free number, 855-492-9202. Thanks for signing in, Mr. Arndt.
You're welcome. Scott Arndt, Borough Mayor. Proud of seeing the board this full. Nick, all seats have been filled. And I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on the Lands Committee. Sarah's aware of it, and Tracy, I think you missed the last one. So I thought it would be good to let you know that we approved the minutes from the January meeting, which recommended to the Assembly to go ahead and start the process for 4 lots out at Island Lake there. 3 on Island Lake Road, 1 on Scout Circle. And it's going to involve going through that basically the land is surplus to public need because it's owned public land and public use. And the other thing would then be rezoning it to ideally, I would say R2, and then going ahead with the subdivision. So that kind of stuff will be coming before you guys, but it'll go to the Assembly first. Then at our meeting here last week, we've kind of agreed to go through with over on Beaver Lake Drive and Beaver Lake Drive and Salif, 3 tracts of land, and that will be going to the Borough Assembly, and then we'll look at after we approve the minutes for in March. Then the Lands Committee decided that they would like to take a look at, the next thing they want to take a look at is the Kodiak property, which was where the salvage logging from the forest fire was done, and kind of behind the school out there. And then Killarney Hills subdivision, there's been a lot of talk over the years and looking at bringing that stuff back to the Lands Committee. This is news to Sarah too, is we're not, Amy Williams, who is the borough manager, is kind of the resource person, and her and I are traveling quite a bit between now and the meeting. So we're not going to get the Killarney Hills, but I've had GIS working on the Kodiak stuff, so we'll have some maps for that and go from there. But that'll be on there, so won't have everything, but we'll proceed with that. Amy said she'll need some help when Megan's out of town for the month, and so we'll start working on that other stuff. But just gives you a little idea that there'll be additional cases coming forward and there's a rezone in the works too that'll be coming forward to you guys. I think next month on there. So welcome aboard, and thank you for volunteering and offering your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott. Do we have anybody on the phone? Nope. Okay, then we'll go ahead and move on to items for discussion. There are there aren't any on the agenda. James, did you have any messages that Chris
Yeah,
wanted?
there was a change to the memo that needed to be done. Chris Paulson as the alternate taken off and just changing to someone you guys need to assign the alternate to.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Thanks. Okay, so we'll go ahead. You didn't have any items either, right, Seema? Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to packet review. We do not have any public hearings for our meeting next week. We do not have any old business. Our new business item is election of a chair and vice chair for this committee. I'll volunteer myself for chair if nobody else wants to do it. And then, Court, I heard that maybe there was some interest in being the vice chair. Cool. Okay. We can't make any decisions here at this meeting. Our binding decisions need to be made at our regular meetings, but we can open this item up for discussion if anybody else had any thoughts on it.
Formality, I'll make a motion that both
Oh.
you and Court.
You'll make a
Well,
motion next week?
I will, so
Okay.
I'm practicing.
Okay.
So I'm saying that you don't need to self-nominate. I would nominate you for that leadership role and Court for the second.
Okay. Any other members have thoughts on chair and vice chair elections? No? Okay. So let's move on to the item about confirmations. So this body has some representation on a couple of other borough boards and committees. One is the Parks and Recreation Committee. There is an ex officio member, so a non-voting member of the Planning and Zoning Commission that represents our board at Parks and Recreation meetings. And then there is an alternate. Court is currently the ex officio member. And then, as James said, Chris Paulson, who is no longer on the committee because his term expired, he was the alternate. So next week we'll reappoint people to those positions and get them filled again. Are you still interested in serving on that board?
Yeah, if somebody else wants to,
Yeah.
I can do that, so.
Okay. Any other discussion on Parks and Recreation specifically? Appointments? Nope. Okay. And then the second committee that the Planning and Zoning Commission has representation on is the Borough Lands Committee. There is a borough seat for P&Z, and then there is a city seat for P&Z. Currently, I am the borough representative, and Tracy is the city representative. I'm happy to stay on the Lands Committee. I enjoy it. I used to work as staff to the Lands Committee when I worked for the borough, and I find it super interesting. So I don't at all mind keeping that position. How do you feel, Tracy, about the city position? Is that something you'd still be interested in, or yeah?
I like it. Yeah. Yes. I want to stay on the Lands Committee. So there.
Anybody else have thoughts, comments, ideas? Lands Committee? Nope. Okay. Then we'll have some communications, our planning and zoning case results letters. And then we've got our schedule here for the remainder of February and March. So our regular meeting is here next Wednesday, which is February 19th at 6:30 p.m. And then our March work session will be on March 12th, and our March regular meeting will be on March 19th, all at 6:30 here in Assembly Chambers. That is like the shortest packet review ever. This brings us back to citizens' comments. So we'll go ahead and reopen for citizens' comments. Same spiel as before, limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Please write your name down for us. If you would like to call, the local number is 907-486-3231, and our toll-free number is 855-492-9202. Please make sure you're addressing the board as a whole. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. It's good to see all of you up there. One of the things is staff will bend over backwards to answer any questions you have. Sarah, having also now currently being a planning and zoning member, has the experience in community development that I'm sure she doesn't mind any questions. I'm also previous planning and zoning member and chair in the past, so you have a lot of resources. Feel free to use us. Don't be afraid to call me on there if you ever have any questions. So, thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Scott. Did we have anybody call in? Nope. Okay, on to staff comments. Let's start with James.
Yeah, no staff comments.
All right. Seema?
The only thing that I'd like to say is Bronwyn isn't here to send out those reminders for next week, so you're not going to get them. Just please make sure you put on your calendar to come. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Now we are on to commissioner comments. I will just start over here to my left and we'll go down the line if that's okay, Ms. Athenas.
Well, this is only my second meeting, so I'm still fairly new to this, but I'm very thankful that our workload isn't crazy, but it sounds like it's going to be, so I'm super excited to dive into that. Thank you, guys.
Court?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the lands coming up here. Appreciate you ladies that were on the lands committee and the mayor there working on that. I've been commenting. Scott knows well that I've made several comments about that over the years there. That's kind of a pet passion of mine to see more land available for people in the community, and so I'm looking forward to being able to look at rezones for that, and just appreciate you guys' hard work on that. I know it takes a lot of time and commitment, so thank you.
Ms. Tracy?
Yes, what Court said. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here, and I guess that's it. I look forward to working with all of you.
Another year, another opportunity to exercise government at the local level. I'm looking forward to really spreading the wings this year. I see us having some great opportunities to provide services to our community. Thank you.
Mr. Cleary, first comments as a commissioner.
Yeah, me be first meeting. Glad to be here and meet everyone. And with lands being available for future families coming to Kodiak, lots of opportunity. Like myself coming here, new to the island and the Coast Guard, and didn't want anything to do with it. And now I don't want to leave ever. So seeing that and opportunities for that is extremely exciting. I'm sure as well as it will be for other members of the community. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Awesome, thanks. So that leaves me. I am super excited. I'll echo what Scott said. I am really excited to have a full board for a couple reasons. Number one, we owe it to the public, right, to get their requests sent through expeditiously. Makes it exponentially harder to get a quorum when you don't have a full board. But number two, the more people that are up here, the more viewpoints we have, right? And the better of a cross-section it represents of the community. So I definitely appreciate people stepping up, particularly because it very often seems to be the same people stepping up over and over again that are just filling their plates, right? So there are other people that recognize that being here, sometimes even if it's only a 30-minute meeting, is a sacrifice, particularly when you do it over and over again every week. So I really appreciate everybody being here, and I also am super excited to get some of these cases going and hopefully making a difference, a tangible, visible difference in the community. Super important. With that closing of comments, that just leaves us to adjourn. So we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 6:44 p.m. Thank you, everybody.